Hey, greetings. Welcome back to Sean's Irish Whiskey Shelf. Today, what I have for you are 3 teenager bottles. Teenagers because these have all been matured into their teens. So, first off, I have some Redbreast 15-year-old. Secondly, I have some Jameson 18-year-old. And third, I have some Red Spot. This is also 15 years old. Now, for a long time, when I started in Irish whiskey and began to explore the world of Irish whiskey and the different tastes and what I liked, what I didn't like, Redbreast was the de facto, everyone's got to have it, everyone loves it. And I think my first bottle of Redbreast that my wife got me was some Redbreast 12. It's good stuff, ain't gonna lie. And I ended up getting a bottle of Redbreast 15 somewhere along the way. Shortly after that, I got some Red Spot. I did have all of the spots, blue, green, yellow, and red. Had a little bit of a disaster during our move, and I lost the blue, yellow, and green. Those are getting replaced, but I didn't lose the red. And then here recently, a couple months ago, I got a bottle of Jameson 18. Yeah, I've kind of drained it some because I had a lot of people that in the family that wanted to try it, but came to find out that that's pretty good stuff too. All 3 of these are excellent sips of whiskey. So today I thought, well, let's just put all 3 of them head to head against each other and see which one really is the best one, at least in my book. So that's what we're going to do. First, as always, I want to give you a little bit of background on each of these 3. So if you don't care to know about it, or you already know about it, by all means, skip right over the little history section and get right to the tasting. Otherwise, stay tuned for a few minutes and you can learn a little bit about each of these 3 bottles.
Red Spot Irish Whiskey. This whiskey is distilled at the Middleton Distillery, located in County Cork. As it says on the label, it's been aged for 15 years. The content of this is 46% ABV and a 92 proof. It is a single pot still whiskey. This is matured in bourbon and marsala wine casks and Spanish sherry butts. Redbreast 15. This whiskey is also distilled in Middleton Distillery up in County Cork, 15 years, 46% ABV, 92 proof, single pot still whiskey, and this was first created in 2005 as a limited edition whiskey, but it was very well received in the whiskey world, so they decided to make it a standard issue, if you will, and not just make it a special whiskey. So apparently Middleton is making this on a regular basis. Jameson 18, distilled at Middleton Distillery up in County Cork. This is an 18-year whiskey, although the website says that it is distilled for at least 18 years. They say on the website that this is a 46% content, 92 proof. However, the bottle that we're tasting today is a 40% ABV, 80 proof. So a little bit of a disconnect there. This is a blended whiskey. You're looking at a combination of pot still and grain whiskeys for this particular blend. This was introduced back in 2002, and like the other 2 bottles, matured in bourbon barrels and sherry butts, and the whiskey is then blended, and then they mature it for a final stage only in first fill bourbon barrels.
All right, hope you learned a little bit of something about these bottles, so let's give it a taste. First up, Redbreast 15. Kind of the de facto, like I said earlier, de facto, everybody loves Redbreast. So let's give old Redbreast 15 a taste. That is good as always. Gotta tell you, Redbreast is an excellent bottle of whiskey. I like that. It's very smooth, has very little burn to it. I could sip that whiskey all day long, every day. That is just a fabulous, fabulous sip of whiskey. All right, let's do some Jameson 18. This was really expensive when it first came out. I've noticed here recently that it has come down in price, so maybe you can find it at a much cheaper price than what I got it for. But let's see how it compares to our Redbreast 15. I think in terms of smoothness, they're exactly alike. Both are very smooth. This Jameson 18, though, seems like it's got a little bit more of a malty taste to it. This seems to have a little bit more of the sweetness, which is more my palate. Jameson seems to have a little bit more of the darker malty taste to it. I think smoothness wise, they're both excellent. Very smooth, no objectionable whiskey burn or anything. Yeah, I think the Redbreast 15 though. I think that would still be my favorite over the Jameson 18. This just has the nice, just has a nicer taste to it, I think. What I would be used to in an Irish whiskey. All right, Red Spot 15. Let's see what old Red Spot 15 can bring to the table. Also a very smooth whiskey. Much, much sweeter than Redbreast. It definitely has a much sweeter component to it, I think. Maybe not quite as smooth as these two. It's pretty close, I'll give you that. It's pretty close in smoothness, but maybe just a tiny bit more harsh than the Jameson or the Redbreast. Definitely sweeter. Definitely sweeter. I would say this would be a really good whiskey to sip on maybe after dinner. You've had a nice big meal. You want to sit down and enjoy a nice whiskey that's got a sweetness component to it, just to enjoy with a family member, sit around the fire and talk. I think that would be good, a good choice. The Redbreast, I think that's better for an everyday whiskey. Not to say that it wouldn't be good for after dinner. I just think the Red Spot would be a better choice for that. In my book, if I had to choose one of these whiskeys for an everyday sipper, I think I'm choosing the Redbreast. I really do. Yeah, the Jameson is 3 years older, and they're both excellent, very smooth sips of whiskey. But I like the sweetness component of the Redbreast over the smoky component of the Jameson. It's just my palate. Your palate may vary. Maybe you like the smoky taste. If you like that little bit darker smoky taste, you can't go wrong with the Jameson. I'm here to tell you, that is an excellent bottle. But I think for me, just the sweetness, Redbreast is going to be it, unless I want something a little bit fruitier, a little bit sweeter, and then I'm going with the Red Spot. So there you go, folks. There is my battle of the teenagers: Redbreast 15, Jameson 18, Red Spot 15. Hope you got something out of this. I do try to keep these as short as I can because You know, everyone is busy all the time, so no sense sitting here watching 20, 25 minutes of video. And I hope you got something out of it. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please click that like button. And it really mean a lot to me if you subscribe to my channel so you don't miss the next video. We'll have another video coming this week. All right? So until we meet again, I'd like you all to be well and be safe and take care of yourselves. Bye now.